Welcome to Marketing Madrassah, where we'll be sharing our top tips and advice about the halal economy. I'm Omar and this is Saif. We're your hosts today and we're also the co-founders of MIN. Saif, today what I wanted to discuss was what are some of the top lessons that we learned in our first year of business?
So I think for us, the tips that we'd like to share probably fall into about 7 categories. And the first and most important one for me is having a clear purpose. What do you stand for? What do you actually live for? Without having a clear purpose, how will you get out of bed every day? Us at MIN, we stand for empowering the influence of today to better society for tomorrow. So we know that all those business decisions we make, the strategic objectives that we have for the coming years, are based around that, are based on making sure that that thing that actually drives us is actually being catered for and nurtured. So it's the same with you. When it comes to early days of business, you're dead passionate, you've got the kind of confidence, the ability, the drive to get yourself out of bed. But you're going to have quiet days. You're going to have days where maybe you're not even making any money. So how will you actually get out of bed when you've not got something that motivates you? So purpose is really important. You need something that you care about, something that actually drives you to actually wanting to do something over and over again. Mm-hmm. The second thing for me is save. When it comes to actually a growing business, especially a small business and a startup, you need to have a pool of funds that you can actually dip into, because costs will come out of nowhere. You'll see that there's paperwork, there's staffing costs, there's content marketing costs that you'll have to cater for 6-7 months down the line that you never would have thought about early on. So it's really important that you're actually saving along the way. So as soon as you start getting deals, put a bit to the side. There's no harm in that, and you'll actually install the right mentality to approaching a business, especially if you're bootstrapping. If you're not going for investment and you're self-funded, it's such a critical thing that you do. The third thing that we've learned as well is attitude is more important than ability. When it comes to actually having staff members, having people who are invested in what you're trying to do as a business, you need someone that when you give them a task, especially as a startup, they can just go and take it. They don't need to be kind of babysitted, or you need to go into extensive detail and planning with them. You want to be able to have the confidence in them to say, here's this task, this is what needs to be done. Can you do this? If they've got the right attitude, they'll love that. They'll revel in being empowered. That's really important. That builds trust. But if they don't have the right attitude, and if they're all ability and they don't have any attitude, then they'll turn to you and say, actually, I want 2-page planning documentation. And that's not what you need. As a startup, you need to be quite reactive sometimes, and you can't always be strategic. So that's important that you actually have a person and have a cohort of team members that are more invested in having the right attitude, I think, more than ability. The fourth one for me is recognizing that your time is precious. As a growing business, you need to be able to make the right calls day to day. But how will you do that if you say, I've got 19 things to do today, I've got 19 things to do tomorrow? And what you start to realize is you'll probably only achieve a fraction of that. So if you've had that long list and every day you're not achieving that, you're going to feel like you're failing. So the best way to approach this and to manage your time well is have a list of 3 business things, 3 personal things that you maybe want to achieve day to day, because they feed into each other. If you've not got harmony in your personal life, you won't be successful in business. If you're not making money, then there'll be disharmony in your personal life. Sure. So have that balance of setting realistic objectives in the morning. And when it comes to the 5th thing that I think is really important for a startup, a small business, is don't be afraid of competition. Competition will always exist. It's one thing that, from the beginning of time, when it comes to businesses, there'll be people who'll do the things that you want to do. So unfortunately, if you're not confident in what you offer, then you'll be afraid of competition. So you need to take the time actually knowing that competition is good for you, healthy, it'll make you better, it'll make you develop a customer-centric mentality, which is caring for your customers, actually giving them more value. And if you spent the time defining your purpose, you'll know what's important to your business, and you'll know from there what to communicate to other businesses that makes you unique. Sure. So actually, when it comes to competition, you shouldn't be afraid of it. They should make you better. And if you're confident in the service that you offer, because you've got a good purpose, you won't be afraid of that. The 6th thing I think is really important is having mentors, having a kind of group of mentorship advisors, people that you can trust and depend on. It's important because in business, especially the first years, you'll have a lot of ideas. They'll come to you when you're trying to sleep, when you wake up in the morning, you're maybe on the underground or on the tram, the bus, in the car, drive to work. You think, I want to do this, you want to do this, but then if you have all these ideas, you won't know how to prioritize. So it's really important that you have people who've gone through maybe a similar journey, people who've gone through making those mistakes, who've actually gone through having that kind of creative mindset, that idea mindset, but you need to be executing. You need to be an executor yourself. So you need to actually go to people who you trust, who you can depend on, but who've gone through a similar journey and say, what do you think of this idea? They'll verify it for you. And know that when it comes to people, we're only human beings, so they'll offer you advice that maybe you think isn't right. They'll maybe offer you advice that you might want to take, or you might not want to take. It's up to you. But definitely soundboard ideas, because it's better to have that advice than not to have it, for sure. And the final thing that I want to share is the importance of seeking knowledge. It's really important that you spend some time every day, spending time learning and developing your own mentality when it comes to business. Because when you seek knowledge, you're only going to get better at what you do. You'll only get more cultured, more inclined to respect each other's opinions. And that's really important. And as well, it comes, if you want to actually have the wisdom, it comes through reading. So it's really important that you dedicate a portion of your time. I think it's Warren Buffett. For those of you who don't know who Warren Buffett is, worth billions and billions of pounds, he dedicates 8 hours of reading a day.
Wow.
So it tells you the importance of reading, and obviously he's extremely successful. So that's one of his values for actually why he became successful. So if you spend about half an hour a day reading, you'll always get better and better. You'll always offer a better and better service. And one line that always stands out to me when it comes to the importance of reading is, you'll always go to sleep smarter than when you woke up. So if you're spending half an hour always reading, for sure that will happen.
Okay. Thank you so much, Saif, for sharing those tips with us. Let us know what your favorite tip was. Leave it in the comment section below. We hope you enjoyed today's episode. Until next time, we'll see you soon.